All right, let's jump right in. The Bible is just full of these powerful ideas wrapped up in really simple symbols. And today, we're going to unlock one of the biggest ones, day versus night. And believe me, it's way more than just light and dark. It's the key to understanding this huge theological shift.
So, where do we start? Well, our journey kicks off with this really beautiful, kind of mysterious image right at the very end of the Bible, in the book of Revelation.
This single line is talking about the New Jerusalem, right? This symbolic city that represents God's new creation. And get this, its gates are always open. Why? For one simple reason, night just never comes.
Okay, but hold on. This isn't literally about a planet with a sun that never sets. No. The thinking here is that this is a huge statement about security, about salvation, about a job that's completely finished. And to really get our heads around that, we first have to figure out what day and night even mean in this whole context.
All right, so let's dig in. To understand why no night is such a game changer, we've got to start with what the Bible even means when it talks about the day.
So the day here isn't just, a 24-hour period. It's so much more. It's a spiritual reality. You can think of it as the whole era that Jesus started, a time of absolute clarity and truth because he is the light of the world.
And this is cool. This whole idea creates a brand new identity for believers. They're actually called the children of the day. What does that mean? It means they've literally stepped out of the darkness and into this new reality of light. They're living in forgiveness and grace. And that spiritual home we talked about, the New Jerusalem, it is so completely flooded with this light that it doesn't even need a sun. The Lamb is its light.
And listen, Jesus himself sets up this exact contrast. He calls his own ministry here on earth the day. It's like this window of opportunity, a time when truth is out in the open. But he also warns that a night is coming. And that night is all about spiritual blindness and judgment.
Okay, so it follows, right? If day is this new era of light and truth, the night has to be whatever it replaced.
And that's exactly it. The night becomes the symbol for the old covenant system. It was a time of, shadows and only seeing part of the picture. There was this veil, this separation between people and God. And the whole system, as it's described, was already fading. It was on its way out, ready to just vanish when the day finally dawned.
And this right here really lays it all out, doesn't it? It's just a perfect contrast. On one side, you've got the night of the old covenant, all shadows, spiritual blindness, separation. But then on the other side, bam, the day of the new covenant, reality, total clarity, and full access to God. It's like the entire story in one shot, a journey from darkness into light.
So here's the kicker. The argument is that the religious establishment back in Jesus' time was the perfect picture of this spiritual night. I mean, think about it. They were supposed to be the watchmen on the wall, right? Looking for the dawn. But instead, in Jesus' own pretty harsh words, they'd become blind guides. And the irony is just devastating. When the light of the world finally showed up, they were the very ones who were completely blind to him. Okay, get ready, because this whole day versus night framework, it's about to totally flip our understanding of one of the most famous and maybe one of the most misunderstood phrases in the entire Bible.
I bet you've heard this one before. The day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, right? And usually we think of this as some sudden event way off in the future that's going to catch everybody off guard.
But let's pause and ask a really important question here. Who exactly is this a surprise to? Is the thief coming for everyone, or is he only a surprise for the people who are still living in the night?
And boom, here's the answer. This is the absolute key. The Apostle Paul, right after he says the day comes as a thief in the night, he turns right around to the believers and says, "But you, brethren, are not in darkness that that day should overtake you as a thief." You see, the surprise, the shock, it isn't for them. It's for the people who belong to the night.
So, what does this all mean? Well, with this understanding, the day of the Lord that came like a thief isn't some event in our distant future. It was the judgment that came down on that old covenant system, the one that rejected the light. It was a total shock to them, to the blind guides. But for the believers, for the children of the day, it was the sunrise they've been waiting for all along.
All right, let's bring this all home. We're going to come full circle and go right back to where we started, to that incredible city with no night.
So now, when we read this verse again, it just hits differently, doesn't it? For night shall not be there. That's not just some pretty poetry. It's a rock-solid theological guarantee. It's the ultimate declaration that the new covenant has won, period.
And this is just fascinating. If you look at the original Greek, the language makes this promise absolutely airtight. It uses a double negative, ume, which is the most emphatic way you can say never. We're talking by no means, not ever, no way, no how. This isn't a suggestion, it's an unbreakable promise. Those gates will never be shut.
So let's nail this down. No night there is the ultimate symbol of security. It means all that fear, all that separation, all the shadows from that old night system, they're gone, and they're not coming back. For the children of the day, there's nothing left but everlasting light and a gate to God that is always, always open.
And that leaves us with a really powerful thought to chew on, doesn't it? If this eternal day isn't just something we're waiting for in the future, but it's a spiritual reality that we can actually live in right now, well, how does that change the way we look at all the darkness that's still in the world? What does it truly mean to walk as a child of the day right here, today?